Hi everybody, Russ and My Hammers 11. Hope you are all safe and well of YouTube channel. Please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you know anytime I put new content on. As always, like to thank our lovely channel sponsors, just by Adam Z, Untuck It. Check them out in the description below. We've got another ex-Hammer My Hammers 11 episode. You know you love them, but try and get as many to you as possible, particularly the international break because there's bugger all on at the moment. He's our 63rd or 64th ex-Hammer. Played for the first team, played in the Europa Cup. Playing the Premier League for West Ham, part of that fantastic the FA Cup youth winning team as well. We've had loads of them on. I've had Izzy, and we were just saying before, Izzy and Bertie and Anwar and Stephen and all these greats. And now we've got Adam, and there's people I know who are really looking forward to this episode. Adam, to be honest, really looking forward to hearing from you. One. So there we go. How are you, my friend? I know you're busy. You've just gone for a mascot run. We won't talk about it in more detail because we'll just leave it like that, and no one will know what you're talking about.
Just leave it there.
How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm first and foremost relieved to get in touch with you. Of course. Like I say, just apologies about last week and last night. Like you say,
Adam basically fell asleep. Adam fell asleep basically, so that may carry on.
Real life problems, yeah.
it was real life problems, man.
But nah, other than that, all good. I'm cool. Like you just briefly saw the wife there. She's cool. She's chilling, and the kids are happy. They're back at school, so I think hopefully, things getting back to some sort of kind of normal. The family's like okay. That's the main thing, you know.
Yeah, innit? It's so true. It's so true. The kids going back is a massive thing, innit? I don't think I could cope with any more homeschooling.
Luckily, I was getting out. To be fair, I just used to come and get the brunt of it. So little bit of a war zone. So I just like pop my head in and I've got to go shopping or something. Just get out of there. So, but no, stressful times for everyone concerned. But everyone thankfully rode it out. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing, man. And at least we got I know, and I mean, Melvin Point is obviously you're a cabbie. I mean, what's that like at the moment in terms of people, just like work wise, people using the cabs and stuff? Is it all a bit weird? And
yeah, it just right from when lockdown first sort of happened, all the situation where key workers needed to move, so there was still a little bit of work, as in hospitals, rail staff, emergency people, certain doctors needed to move between hospitals, and then the odd people that were still flying away, and the very, very few corporate jobs. The BBC had an account. So you just got to try and be lucky, and either get into contact with a regular person who uses or needs taxis, or you use the taxi apps basically. And just try and work it that way. But I wasn't never getting the same amount or the amount of custom what I was used to. Because tourists aren't here. People can't go to eat. People can't go shopping. So it was thinning out a little piece. So I had to change the way I worked, and try and adjust to be around for home as well, because my wife was working as well. So it was all an adjustment period. But throughout the year, there's been a few changes along the way. But we've just been managing,
Yeah, and my mate's a cabbie as well, and he sort of ditched the cab and ended up being a paint and decorator for a while, and then when Christmas came along, he did the whole London tours in a cab. And
trust me, I've done the same. I've considered the same. And like I say, probably about 2 months ago, I had a really, really, really tough couple of weeks mentally as well, emotionally, and I was ready. I came close to giving it up, and I never thought I'd even consider it. But, I was really low, wasn't getting any luck, and I'm just thinking, what else can I do? I was just ready to retrain in anything else, tiling, painting, decorating, labouring, whatever. Just get somewhere and learn something else. Wanted to just have a change of scenery as well. Doing the same things daily, starting to get a little bit monotonous, and when it was tough, the motivation started to lower a little bit. But
Of course.
You just got to stick it out sometimes, man. So
It is,
hope
but
things turn.
it is. It is. It's just. It is about sort of adapting, isn't it? The people who adapt. What's it? Come on in. See, you talking about iPads? It's like, can you get me there? Oh God, there we go. Sorry, it's not like I'm doing an interview or anything with Adam. Don't worry about this. Jesus Christ! What? I forgot the year I was born.
I've run away from mine.
I know you've run away.
Yeah,
They
I've
find
just come
me.
upstairs.
She finds me in the garage. I'm stuck in the garage. She's only just got back from school. Hasn't even said hello to me back from school yet. But she's just thrust an iPad in. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. And in terms of, I think when you see the roadmap, are you thinking, oh, brilliant? Obviously, because you got like the pubs open in April and then all the shops open. At least it means that you've got some sort of, you can look forward to what's going to happen now in terms of hopefully work turning up a little bit more for you.
Yeah, we had that. It kind of, once we had the Christmas sort of, everyone's can come out around the Christmas period, like, got the bit of the feel good factor again. Then you kind of knew that lockdown was coming or things were going to shut down. And then, what was it? It was kind of anticipating, I can't remember, like 4th or 5th of January, whatever it was. And then kids were going back to school, because, being through the lockdown and kids being off all that time, there was a little bit of, anticipated relief, but that wasn't to come sort of like a day or two before. And it's just like, wow, okay, so how long is this going to go on for? And then obviously you got the guideline up until March. He's like, geez, okay, cool. How are we going to work this one out? But like I said, Ross, it just, okay, try and adjust to it. But yeah, just during that, after that first month, like the beginning of February, it was really, really, really tough, real tough.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, not even I can do this. But we're here now. We're here today.
Exactly.
Don't know how it is. I just think because I was doing the things daily so much, so often, just one day just rolled into the next, like I just saying now, beforehand, I'm just telling you about my sleep patterns all over the place, and having to change me hours and stuff, but adjust quickly, get through it.
Yeah, you're totally right, man. I mean, I only know what day Wednesday is because I've got to take the bins out. You know what I mean? So it's like,
was that the blue job?
No, I mean, Alton Church, we don't get anything clever like that. We just get bin bags. I think I'm going to separate them. But anyway, a lot of cardboard this week for some reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I know a Wednesday. And okay, well, I'll put a roast on because it's Wednesday. It's the same. I do a lunchtime show, and it's funny because everyone takes a piss at me on a Wednesday because they know I've taken my bins out and they know I've going to have a roast. So I'm a man of habit, and so I have to get into a routine. And
sometimes the only way to get through this,
it is.
Keep doing the simple things.
So true. It's
so
true.
The simple things.
I mean, when the kids went back as well, it's like that hour difference in bed from getting up. I have to get up at 7:30 now rather than 8:30. Honestly, I was like, it was like I felt like drunk for like 2 weeks. Like my head was in like, sleep is so important. I really underestimated how important sleep is, and it's as you said, we're going to come out of it the other end eventually, and I think also the winter. I mean, the first lockdown, to be honest, in the summer was really relatively easy for me, I think, because the sun was not out and you were in the garden. It was 30 degrees. It was beautiful. The winter, it's dark, it's horrible, it's rainy, it's cold. And now, you see the light, it's getting a bit better now. So
whether get a lot more people out going for walks or going to the park,
exactly.
So people just want to get out,
Yeah, totally.
That's what everyone's missing.
I mean, I've even said, I'm more prepared to, I'm looking forward to taking Flo's. She's 8. I'm looking forward to taking to Claire's accessories soon, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's true. Just to do a change of scenery and stuff. And I know I get absolutely rinsed with the old card, but don't matter. So it's all good. And also, it's a West Ham channel, so obviously West Ham are doing well. So that's one thing. That's one thing you have to worry about, man, isn't it?
It's I'm in a group chat with an old friend, and I've like met so many new West Ham colleagues along the way. A couple of times I've been over the last few years, caught up with them, managed to meet a few of them face to face in the bat and ball and stuff, and great crack in there. And once we finished strong at the back of last season, kind of just anticipate, okay, mid table kind of finish this year.
Yeah.
But I can now voice my opinion as a West Ham fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm buzzing for the team.
Yeah.
Okay, most fans probably could agree or not agree. All right, cool. Champions League spot it's a pipe dream, but who knows? Who cares? Like, if we get in there, why not? But
Yeah.
I just think where we keep picking up good results against the top teams and our performances are justifying results. Like, listen, if we were doing this well, we've come this far.
Yeah.
We've got to expect to at least get in that top 7.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
if we finish 8th or we finish 9th, if we're in the position where we are now, if it was to tail off, you kind of you still had a great season, but look where we were, or where we, and I just think the performances of our captain Declan Rice, Fornals has really been impressed me this year.
Do you know, he's the one. He's the one Fornals for me. I think he's the one that we really miss, and I don't think people realise we miss him until he's not there.
This is where we're starting to, as in our group, the jury was out on him certain cases and certain times and stuff, but having played myself, all right, cool. He's still relatively young, adjusting to London, and obviously adjusting to a manager like David Moyes, who's totally different to Slaven. Obviously very organised, very, very structured, very disciplined. So whoever can buy into his game plan is flourishing now, and I think he's got the right balance, got the right blend, got the right mix. I love it when Benrahma comes on for his 20-minute, 30-minute cameo.
Yeah.
If he's starting, I want him to score because, he is that kind of different player, willing to go past people and to take people. And I think if he does score, if and when he does get his first goal, I think he's gonna be a really, really important player for West Ham.
Totally, man. Totally, man. And it's true. It's one of those things where I think, it's a nice distraction to have. The fact that there's so much football on the telly, but the fact is, West Ham, for anyone who's a West Ham fan, the last thing with everything that shit else that's going in the world, the one thing we haven't had to worry about is us going down this season, which is this
is what I'm saying about enjoying the position that West Ham are in. Yes, okay, it's unexpected, but we're up here now. Might as well give it our best shot. And like I say, the performances are justifying why we're up there. So it's almost
definitely.
Listen, don't just have a day off, or don't lower your standards type thing. But no, it's really is enjoyable watching, and just hopefully we can squeeze in a game, maybe 2 before the end of the season at the Olympic Stadium. I think the players deserve it, I think the players deserve it, and I think the fans would want to give, listen, well done for this season, regardless, whatever position we're in. Just like I say, over the whole year, whole season, it's been quality to be a West Ham fan.
Absolutely, totally, man. Totally agree, man. And I think, by all accounts, we can get the last game of the season, the Southampton game, with 10,000 in. I think that would just top off the season quite nicely, and then hopefully in the summer everything gets sorted, and then by the time we get round to the Champions League qualifying matches in next season, we'll have 60,000 there, or even the Betway Cup. I'll even take the Betway Cup.
Just squeeze in there.
So it'll be all good. No, it's true, and it's exciting times. It's exciting. It's a team, and obviously we had Izzy on the other day, and I said to Izzy, and he's probably. I mean, your team is probably the last team to have lifted a trophy for West Ham.
Wow.
Isn't it? I was thinking about it. Thinking about it. It may be, if not, it was like one of the last, because obviously you guys won the FA Youth Cup in 1999, and we won the Intertoto Cup. It doesn't really count. I wouldn't say Intertoto Cup really counts, but you guys must be the last team to win something, which is mental when you think about it.
Yeah, it's mental, but it's also a shame. Well, if you want to count promotion.
We could do that. But even that. So I mean, you think back. we didn't win a promotion. We won we went up second it was before then. We had playoffs. Fine. Yeah, so we haven't.
See, you understand I'm a West Ham fan. I'm clutching at everything here.
I know, literally. But we won that Betway Cup.
Everything.
It's true.
All I care about is we're lifting, or we're more current with silverware more than Spurs. Spurs. So
yeah, just about.
No, it is. It's facts. It's facts.
Okay, facts. Because Newt says it's fact. Uncle Newt says it's facts, man.
That's it.
So going back to playing for West, obviously you're a West Ham fan, but going back to sort of playing, obviously you joined the academy. I mean, was there other clubs going for you, or was it always going to be West Ham?
I trialled at Watford for the very sort of first. I got a chance to play at a professional club. Because I lived over that way in Slough. That's where I grew up. And then I had the opportunity to go and trial at Chelsea. But my Sunday team's coach, he knew a West Ham scout. And from there, as normal things play out, it is just a no-brainer. As soon as I knew I had an opportunity to train or play for West Ham, that my head was done. Like, I didn't care about Watford or Chelsea. So we trained. I started off at the satellite centre over in Wexham for a couple of years, and then in the half term, I used to come over to Chadwell Heath to play sort of inter-house games, and literally just progressed from there. I've never looked back. So So as long as I made my uncle happy, I was sold. So because he's the first one to bring me over to West Ham when I was a kid.
Brilliant.
I can't remember the first game. For some reason, this is how far back. I think when Hoddle was playing for Swindon.
Wow.
And we used to go into bowling a couple of times. However intimidating it was, I never noticed it.
Yeah.
But we used to stand in the South Bank because at those times it was empty. So my uncle used to say, like, listen, we've got space in the South Bank, so we'll be here. But I just used to remember the away fans in the corner. So he used to always make me go and stand on the other side, like more closer to the chicken run end.
Yeah.
Chicken run side, sorry. And so I had some good times in the South Bank, and I think the only time I went into the North Bank, we had a game versus Southampton. I think it ended up 3-3. I think it was. But anyways, it was great being amongst all the fans back then. So not only supporting West Ham, like I say, once I had a chance to go and train and play, my head just wanted to get on the pitch from a very young age.
Of course.
From a very young age. So all a dream.
And I mean, it's a dream that every person I know seems to have wanted to have at some time. And I mean, looking back at that sort of that obviously everyone talks about the FA Youth Cup final, but it was amazing. Obviously scoring in both legs as well, if I remember. And so again, that must have been incredible because that that must have been the biggest crowd you played in front of in terms of at the time, because they just kept on bringing more fans in, didn't they? More and more fans, and it was like it got a bit dangerous. I think, to be honest,
we had from obviously that just being in that team. Grew up with the boys for the best part of 4 or 5 years.
Sure,
obviously as an adult, as a dad now, looking back, it's stuff that dreams are made of. And I can remember feeling like, I remember certain feelings, what it was like back then, all those years ago.
Yeah.
And when I've spoken before about the actual final, it was just another game to us. We had such a winning mentality. It didn't matter who we were going to play, who we were going to face. We knew how we were going to play. And when things just clicked and stuff like that, the team was just so attacking. But we also had enough discipline to, if we didn't have the ball, we were strong enough to, be defensively disciplined and be patient and get the ball back and do our stuff. Obviously,
Sure.
Mr. Cole. Mr.
Yeah,
Cole
I
was
mean,
the
yeah,
catalyst of many things, you know.
yeah, he was. I mean, it was an awesome team, wasn't it? You look back at the team, you know, we've got, as you said, we've had a few of them on already.
Mm,
Maybe Mr. Cole will come on soon. Apparently
yeah.
soon. Um, Maybe even an exclusive. We're getting Richie Garcia's going to come on
Wow.
from
Wow.
Perth.
Wow.
Perth
Wow.
Glory. I've got the confirmation today, so that'd be nice. I'd love to chat to him. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just you just had this bond, and what I love the fact is, you know, you had the sort of you know, you had you watched it a few years ago. You had the game. Yeah, last was it last? No, before last we had the game, and with everyone playing again, and it's lovely that we're sort of bringing this team back together. It's sort of like,
Yeah.
you know, like we sort of do the boys of '86. We did the FA Cup team, the 1980 team. We sort of, you know, I love the fact that we do it with you guys as well, and sort of keep that bond together, because it's a special time. That was a special team, really special team.
It really was. It really was for any, you know, regardless of, you know, whether or if you have a professional career, you know, it's all part of like your adolescence, young adult years.
Yeah,
And some of them, like I've got bonds and friendships for life, like, you know,
yeah,
and obviously I've got respect for every single one of my teammates for life, because we all went through that journey as a team, as
yeah,
a unit.
yeah,
And you know, no matter where or which directions careers went, some went on to progress fantastically, some dropped out fairly soon. You know,
yeah.
you're not ever going to forget those couple of years where you
No,
trained together daily. You won and you lost together. Well, we didn't really lose that much.
I mean,
So, but you know, you went through so many good times, great times, little tours and stuff like that, where everyone just got on. There was
yeah,
no animosity. There was no beef. There was no bitching or fights and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. There was competitiveness, which
yep,
has to be expected, but no one had any issues with each other. And you
mm,
know, thankfully, I learned very quickly with the group that I had. If we had issues, we sorted it out within about
yeah,
10, 15 minutes, and it never harbored, never
mm.
harbored. So
Best
it was
way.
a great learning process of life, and you know, becoming a young adult, a young man, so to speak. So really
Mm.
enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, you said some people didn't sort of progress in the game, but obviously for you, you know, as well as sit, you know, you sat in you stood in the stands, don't stand, you stood in the stands watching West Ham, and then to have played for West Ham, albeit, you know, 3 first team appearances, but fucking hell, I think everyone would have changed their whole life to do
Yeah,
once that, you know, for you. That must have been amazing. I know, like,
yeah.
it must have just been incredible, to
Just
come out and play for your team.
just you know, when we used to train over at Chadwell Heath, just to, you know, get called over, even though it
Sure.
was just for like shadow play or whichever, just to
Yeah.
be amongst the first team. All right, let's see what they do. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't get me wrong, you're shitting yourself, you're nervous.
Of course
Like,
you are, yeah.
well, you know, you just want to impress, you want to do the right thing, you want your touch to be nice, and you get a little taste, you just want more. Like,
Mm.
literally, you just want more and more and more. So I then become a professional. I'm sort of in there like regularly now. Now I'm just like, okay, cool. And then you start traveling away with the first team.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You start warming up. You're not in the squad, you don't care. You just want to get on the pitch, like Aston Villa or Anfield or Ellen Road. You're just warming up. You're just there to just soak in the atmosphere. So you've done your
Mm.
bit. You come off, you have a shower, and you see the players going out. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be showering. I want to be on the pitch or on the bench. And I got that into my head very, very quickly. I wasn't just happy just to, you know, be part of it. I wanted to be it, you know.
Mm.
But I had a certain Mr. Sinclair blocking me.
Yeah. A friend of the
so
channel, Trevor Sinclair,
so
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I was happy to learn off him. He was very, very, very super supportive anyway.
Top man.
Always pushing me. Always, you got to do better here. You got to do this. And if and when I just ever got an opportunity, just try and make the most of it. So, you know, I was happy to be involved in the squad. I was happy to be, you know, named as a substitute for many, many games. It was always that there, learning, watching.
Yeah.
But, you know, selfishly, professional, I wanted to be on the pitch no matter what.
She did.
So I got
Of
a
course.
chance at Highfield Road.
Yeah.
We was playing really well, and this is my Premier League sort of appearance. We was playing really well, and it was a great day. The fans, like West Ham fans, always travelled well to Highfield Road at the time, always made noise, great atmosphere, and come on the pitch, it was just a nice feeling. But even better when I made my appearance at Upton Park, because I think I only came on for a few minutes, but I think we was winning. I think it was 5-0 up.
Oh, yeah.
I think Carrick got a goal that game as well. So it was just, watching Joey and Michael play every week, you just, I just want to get on there with them, because although it was great in the youth team, I just wanted to carry that feeling onto the pitch in the first team. Just have that, the little things that we used to do and like connect week in, week out in the youth team and stuff. Just like let's have a little pattern of play like in the first team pitch, but emotionally to come on the pitch and I just remember seeing my my uncle. The first thing I did before because I ran over by the chicken run, because we was attacking the Trevor Brookings stand that in the second half for whatever reason, and I came on and I thought, oh gosh, am I going to get battered here? But you just felt the warmth from the chicken run, although they were sat down. It wasn't like obviously back in the old days or whatever. But before I ran over there, before I even got to the centre circle, I looked back and I could see my uncle. And I'm getting emotional now because God bless him. Yeah. He's up in the sky now. Yeah. But yeah, it was really nice to see him up there, and I just thought, nah, man, you started this for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was really nice. Amazing. So we was winning 5-0. It was kind of easy. So I just thought, right, let me just get the ball and try and have a run. And but yeah, it was all good for all the personal reasons. It was fantastic, but all for professional reasons as well. Just like I say, I just wanted a little bit more.
Of course you did. And we've had people like we had obviously, we spoke before. We had Izzy on. We had Hodges on the other day, and and he bless old Hodgie. And Harry H basically offered him a contract. He turned it down to go to Scunthorpe to play first team football. And he was like, to be honest, Russ, I could have easily done that, but I always play first. It was all about being in the first team. All about being in the first team. I don't want to be on the bench anymore. And to be honest, that's probably the path you took with Peterborough. 250 odd appearances, and so that's the way to go, man. As you said, I
just with that, like I say, after the back of that season, I wanted to have a good I was doing all right for the pre-season, that following year, and I was in the first team squads, made a lot of appearances, and so I thought, okay, cool, just stay fit, get through the games, and hopefully I should be, put my neck in there, to have a few more appearances. I got a pretty bad training ground injury, bit of a freak one, but and that set me back that year. And then basically I got a finger pushed in my eye. I came off the train, I couldn't see. So put me out for 2 months. And then obviously when I came back, Harry wanted me to go out on loan to get some games, get some fit, and get me up to speed, basically. As I went to Notts County, and then I went for the first month. I thought, all right, that'll do. He goes, no, stay out there for another month. But okay, stay out there for a little bit longer. And they gave me a third month. And I think in that third month, Harry left. And I think that's when Glenn Roeder came in. So when I came back to West Ham, I wasn't really in the picture.
No, that makes sense.
So I thought, right, okay, let's obviously just ride out this season or whichever, and then try and see what happens at the at the beginning of next season. But it was very clear I wasn't going to be in the picture. Yeah. So I'd gone through the tail end of the season where I made my appearances. Started off okay, had the freak injury, struggled to sort of come back, went on loan. While I was out on loan, change of opinion. Yeah. And I wasn't really getting anywhere. So I thought, from where I got myself up, I took a couple of steps back. Yeah. Which happens. But at the time I wasn't too happy, and I just thought, I'm not. It's very clear I wasn't going to get anywhere under Glenn Roeder. I needed to go and play. So So yeah, I just remembered that Tommy Williams and Jimmy Bullard had gone up to Peterborough. I remember seeing Barry Fry run up the touchline celebrating when they scored against Newcastle. So I thought, he looks a bit lively. Let's go and see what he's about.
Yeah.
And met him, and I just thought, wow, blew me away with his charisma.
Yeah.
And I thought, all right, cool, let's go for it. Like, I'm gonna play. I got told I'm gonna. I do okay. I'm gonna play. I just thought, yeah, fair enough. Let's go for it. I just wanted to play.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
and it's gone from there.
I could see that the appeal of Barry Fry in terms of obviously you sort of your very early West Ham career with Harry and stuff. There's a cohesion you can see. There's sort of similar types of personality. Larger than life.
Yeah.
I can see that. You can see that a similar. Obviously, Glenn, God rest his soul, was very sort of different to Harry.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I could see that. And as I said, you end up playing, you made over 250 appearances for Peterborough, and yeah, you were justified in that. And it's the same as Hodgie, exactly the same as Hodgie. He made a couple of hundred appearances for Scunthorpe, and even Izzy, same thing happened with him. He did the same thing, and it's one of those things where
we get out once you come out of I can't see him say the comfort zone or the bubble, because we just wanted to play for West Ham. Like, and I know Izzy would echo the same, because growing up in Canning Town, he's an East End boy himself,
Yeah.
And that's all we ever wanted to do. We just wanted to be in the first team and do our bit for West Ham. But it comes to a point where you start to understand, and you mature slightly in football terms. Even though you want to go back to West Ham, or you still want to play for West, you're not really getting anywhere. And rather than fizzling out, like, look, man, I just need to go and play.
Yeah.
I need to go and take a step back to hopefully come back again, or come forward again.
Yeah.
And for some others it worked out. For others, we found our level.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, as you said, someone like Jimmy, for example, Jimmy did the same thing, didn't he? And
yeah, definitely.
And even nowadays, I mean, Josh Cullen left, and he's tearing it up in Anderlecht. I think he was captain the other day for him. So,
right.
Sometimes it comes to a point where you think, how many more times can I go out on loan? I need to grow some roots more than anything. So, yeah,
all I was going to say is that with the likes of with Josh Cullen. And obviously Jeremy Ngaki has left. It's nice to see, for me personally, Ben Johnson getting some games.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm not too sure what it's like for these youngsters in Premier League setups, academies, and with the under-23s. It sort of gives them a little bit more time to sort of be ready. Yeah. So I want to know how they train, how they approach even like playing for the under-23s and stuff like that, because for us or myself, it was just youth team, reserves, first team. Okay, you got now you just got a little bit more time. I don't know if it's more harder to break into that first team setup, but to get in the squad or on a regular basis, it's nice that the club can sort of say, go and spend a season like what Josh is doing, or has done, I should say, along with many of the other youngsters. Go and play elsewhere, get your games, but we've still got an eye on you, rather than getting forgotten about.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So
it's true.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is, and I mean, I think that's the thing with Moyes as well. He seems to be open to give more youngsters a chance. He's obviously buying, we're buying younger, hungrier, rather than traditional sort of West Ham players.
Right.
So I mean, your era, for example, Ian, we don't buy Ian Wrights and Neil Ruddocks and people
and Winterburns
and Winterburns and Stuart Pearce.
Stuart Pearce's.
I mean, we had loads of left backs, didn't we? Old left backs. We had Pearcey, we had Winterburn, we had Chrissy Powell, we had Rufus. Yeah, we had some great but we don't do that anymore. We're buying these young, hungry players in the Championship or the Czech Republic League or whatever, and I think that's the way it's going through. So, and there seems to be a really good crop of youngsters coming through as well. So, we're in good hands, I think, for this season, next few seasons, to be honest, man. But yeah, and I mean, saying that, people like Wrighty and Razor and Trevor as well. As a young lad going in and seeing these guys, they're household names in football, and you're training with them every day. You must have been like, pinch me, seriously, pinch me. This is just mental.
I've gone from obviously, like when I was still youth team, I was Righty's boot boy,
Yeah,
and
I was going to ask you who you was right. His boot boy. Did you get a good
yeah,
tip?
yes, I did. Yes, I did. I didn't ever think I'd get it, but yeah, I did. To be fair, because first time, obviously, Righty's such a character, and that was,
Yeah,
on that note, um, it was a great sort of environment to step into, even though it's kind of a little bit intimidating because
yeah.
we had the likes of Kits and Hearts and
Oh yeah,
Razor, Shaka, Trevor, Rio, Monks, Lomi. I can reel off the names. Like
yeah,
everyone had a larger than life character. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we'll bring Righty into there. You're just like, oh my gosh, he's
yeah,
never going to stop. So, so Righty comes in. We kind of just sat in the canteen there having breakfast or whichever. And Eddie Gillam comes and he goes, "Oh, Newts." I go, "All right, cool." He goes, "Right." He goes, "This is your boot boy." And right, he just straight away he just goes, "All right, okay, okay, that's it." He goes, trying to make me feel comfortable, make me feel you bring a brother in to do me boots, yeah. And I'm just sat there like, oh my gosh,
you
oh,
didn't know what to say. Yeah,
didn't know what to say. But like everyone was kind of like a little bit didn't know how to take it. And then Razor just started pissing himself, and then like the whole canteen just started cracking up. But what a welcome and what a way to introduce yourself. Do you know what I mean? So from then, from the very first minute, like he was one of the boys.
yeah.
Great,
Well, he was
great character.
great character. I mean, they all were. I mean, it was a really
Yeah,
good. I mean, when you reeled off some of the names, we've been fortunate enough to interviewed a lot of them, and
yeah,
that to me was the last fun era at West Ham. No disrespect to
definitely.
football now, but now
Yeah, yeah,
it's very sterile. I think it's very professional. No
yeah.
disrespect to people like Monks. I'm not saying he was not professional, but they're almost like finely tuned athletes now. You
When
couldn't.
when when I've spoken about those names before, don't get me wrong. Um, and it's not just the environment that we was in. It's just the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
totally.
fortunately for me, the last sort of character I've kind of played with is Jimmy Bullard.
Yeah,
Um, Someone who's, I wouldn't even say eccentric, but what you see on TV now, imagine getting that every day. He is 100 miles an hour, and
yeah,
it breaks up like what you say, the stiffness or the professionalism. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because even someone like to say like Lomi is probably one of the most professional guys you'll come
yeah,
across, but he's ready to crack a joke.
yeah,
Um, and if he was too serious, it'd get it'd get cut down by John Moncur.
yeah,
Now, people might say John Moncur could be the angriest guy as a youth team player, the angriest professional. You don't want to get on your wrong side of him, but like he'd be the first one to take the mick out of you, mug you
yeah,
off, wind you up, snap you. But you see him play every Saturday. He's tearing around the middle, so he's still being professional, doing what he's supposed to
yeah,
do.
yeah,
But yeah, great set of lads. Johnny Hartson, like Trevor,
yeah.
like
Oh,
one of the funniest guys
top
ever.
man.
Rio,
Yeah.
always looking to crack a joke, but look how elegant he was. Like when it
Yeah.
was time to work, these guys
Yeah,
worked.
that's the key, isn't it? It's when it was
Yeah,
time to work. They play hard, but when it was time to work, that was it, game face on. So they
yeah,
could go out. I mean, you could go out on your Tuesday night club down the toll gate, and have a beer,
yeah,
and you could do that because that. And I've asked Razor and Sinks about it because
yeah.
obviously that season we were riding high like we are now, and they could have
Because
easily
because because the team spirit was superb. Like
exactly,
even
yeah,
even as young pros, right? Like Razor and Sinks made us come on the team Christmas night out, and like not so much you had to behave yourself and all that, but what are you doing? Get that down, yeah, get that down, yeah.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
it's just look back at them times, just think what a great sort of set of people to be around.
yeah,
Like you see them training, but this is okay. This is what you do outside of trade, like socializing, everything. Just brought us in, like made us
yeah,
feel one of them. And even though these are big senior pros and stuff, they looked at us as one of
yeah,
them, which was really nice and really helpful. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
never forget
And
little things
and
like
then
that.
when that Peterborough and place like that, when you're the senior pro, you sort of learn from that, and with the new
Definitely.
youngsters coming through, it's just, and I think that's all that's important when it comes to football is how it's then passed down. And
That's it.
I mean, just an amazing, just such a great time. I think that was, and it's because now, I mean, the characters don't tend to get in, and they're few and far between. I think that's why Declan Rice is so adored by everyone, because he's a character.
You can see he doesn't mind taking the mick out of himself, and he has a laugh, and it really is nice that he can still lead, he can still be, so professional and dominant in his performances week in, week out. But then when the game's finished, you see him on his snaps or his Insta, and like even having a little bit of banter with people like Jesse, and I've got to say, what a signing that is.
Oh, I love Jay Lings.
I just again, as a fan for the club, he's just given us a little 5, 10, 50, whatever percentage you want to call it. He's just giving it a lift. Giving it the team wasn't struggling, but it's added more quality to it.
You're totally right. Yeah,
and I just hope that he's enjoying it himself. I hope he wants to come to London himself, and I hope he feels good around the place himself. I know, Moyes would have worked with him before, so he knows what quality that is. But having the likes of people, like a bit of banter with Declan Rice and Antonio as a character as well, and it's.
I think we've got quite a few in our squad. I think
you've got a couple in there.
Yeah.
So
I think I know what you mean.
It's good to see. It really is good to see.
It's great to see. It's good to see because obviously now the game's moved on. It's not necessarily all about you got the team morale internally, but also it's how that's portrayed for an outside world. And the fact is, they're both as you said, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, Jayling and Rice and Antonio and even Souček gets involved, bless him, but but that's what I love. I love there's this sort of and you've got it as you said, when you guys were firing all cylinders, you take on anyone, you think you beat anyone. That's what this team's got now. This team's got that mentality, and it's good to see, man. It's good to see.
Yeah, it really is good.
Jay Lings, I love the fact Jay Lings turned up to the England training session in his West Ham tracksuit.
I haven't seen it. But that's quality.
I thought that was quite good. That's quality, man. But hopefully we can keep him next season. And I know what you mean. And it's the same. When you get a really good player, he improves the whole team. He just has this I don't know, intensity, which I don't think we've had for a while. And I just think it's great.
Don't get me wrong. When people get added, fair play to the gaffer, because obviously he probably knows what Lingard's all about. Yeah. What type of character he's bringing into the sort of group, because you don't want someone that's going to sort of disrupt the harmony or start getting under people's skins and stuff. And like I say, he's just come in and just whatever percentage he's lifted the place. He's got involved, and it's just long may he stay, man. As long as he wants, it'll be great for us.
He will, and I think he's got plenty of miles on the clock because he has. Definitely. I mean, he's 29, but he's only played like a couple of 100 games.
Of course,
and so I think he's like I mean, you're a cab. I mean, I've got a car. It's only got 25,000 miles on the clock. It's a 10-year-old Mini, but it's still got hasn't even had any of its stuff changed. I mean, I don't know what it is, but you know what I mean. That's what I think. Whether we spend on him, he's not going to be like done by the time he's 32, 33. He's got another few years on him, definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely well worth the pennies, man.
Oh, definitely, definitely,
well worth it.
Right, okay. Let's not delay the inevitable. So, as I said, what we do, and everyone is we pick an 11. So you pick an 11 of the players you played and trained with. I allow that because
okay.
Just because I think, because as you said, some players you might have trained with and not played with, but, it's up to you, man. So if you were picking 11, that's what we try and do. So it's only a bit of fun, and feel free to put honourable mentions so no one gets pissed off you haven't picked them. You can pick yourself as well if you want to get your appearances up as well. It doesn't matter, man.
Okay.
So who would be in goal for the Newts 11? Come on.
Right, for my ultimate West Ham team.
Yeah, your team, the ones you've actually played with or you've trained with. You know what I mean? That's what I mean.
I'm gonna be really short and sharp with this.
Good.
Because I'm just gonna have to put my West Ham youth team in there. I am not saying anything any different. Did he say that?
Is the same thing? He said, "Do you know what? Really? Why mess with perfection?"
Well, do you know what? I can name my bench who I'd like on my bench.
Yeah, okay. Right, so we'll say
Right.
the 11. We'll say 11, but we'll put you, we'll put Iz, we'll put Terry, we'll put, you can play, we got Sean, we got Joe,
Yeah,
we got Carrick, we got Richie, we got Bertie,
that's what I'm
we got
saying.
Amos, we got Ball. Yeah, okay, we'll put them all in. But who would you
They're
have on
all
your bench? Go on,
right.
I'll give you 9, like it's a Premier League
All
squad.
right.
Go on then.
All right. Okay.
Otherwise,
All right. I have to put JD in because he's a mate.
yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
so
okay,
JD's in
JD's
there.
in. Yeah.
And then I have to put Sinks in there, obviously.
You got to, otherwise it
yeah.
means also because you've put him in, I can then say that it's including him. And Trevor always retweets anything that I put his name in. So there we go, social engagement there. So we put Sinks is in as well. He's on the bench,
definitely, because he was like dad to me, man. Like he really helped me out. Obviously Paolo, definitely Paolo.
Definitely,
he helped a lot of us young lads as well. Just to watch him how he just to train and his dedication, but see what he done on a Saturday, like is unbelievable. As a fan and as a professional, it was lovely. It was an absolute pleasure to work with him and see how he done things. So you got JD, Trevor, Paolo, obviously Rio again.
yeah,
Like really, really, really pleased, and he was always someone for us, to sort of emulate, look up to. That could have a joke with us as well. The same thing with Frank. What I appreciate with Frank as well, and I've got nothing but admiration for Frank. I know he's like sort of Marmite with a lot of West Ham fans, but what I always try and tell other people is where he always used to get a lot of stick from the fans because they thought that he's only in there because of his dad and his uncle. I don't know when Chadwell Heath used to be open to fans to go and watch training. When everyone had finished, Frank used to be out there training by himself, whether it be running, obviously inside in the gym. He got himself in condition, like day in, day out. And he used to think, wow, Frank's like, he's going some, like, you know what I mean? So I know he used to do a lot more for Chelsea with his long range goals and banging them in from everywhere. He used to do that in training all the time. So it wasn't any surprise that he took that on to the West Ham first team, to Chelsea, to England. Good luck to him. Like, nothing but admiration for Frank.
Yeah.
So I've got JD.
Got 5 Sinks. So far. Yeah, you got 5 on your bench.
Right. So I need some characters in there now. I'll have to have Razor in there.
Yeah, got to put Razor in because he'll retweet it as well.
He's a Willie.
Honestly, the man, he's crazy. I love him. He's absolutely nutter.
He's need some energy and some character in there, but I need someone who's going to put a little bit of fear into opposition. Because if he wanted to head the ball through your head, he would get the ball still. So I'll have Razor in there. Backup goalkeeper to Bywater would be Xhaka. Again, another character. Sometimes quiet, but when he come out of his shell, he's one to laugh the loudest. Great person to have around the training ground as well. Didn't have a problem with anybody. Like lovely guy. Right, how many is that now? 6, 7? 7. Right. Last 2.
It would have been 7, but obviously now we have 9 subs. So it's your own fault now. So
okay, all right then.
You got away with it saying the youth cup squad. So there we go.
I definitely know my last one. I'm trying to put in one in between there.
Okay.
Trying to think now. Who do I admire? Should I go with a professional? Should I go with a character?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. You're the boss.
I'm the
You're
gaffer.
the boss, Noots. You're a gaffer.
All right.
Would you if you was a gaffer, would you want to be called gaffer or would you go or boss? Just a random question. I never thought that's the first time I've asked that question.
Do you know what? I don't want people to sort of have sort of intimidation or they've got just boss, yeah, or Newts, because I remember when we was kids and stuff, right? And I just thought, hang on, what's going on here? Like, even like the first year pros the first year pros when we was YTs, they used to call Harry Redknapp H. I was
Yeah.
like, you can speak to him like he's your mate and all that business. Like bloody hell, like,
Wow.
like, you know, we couldn't even call Tony Carr like TC, like, no, Tony. Like, he knew nothing else. Like,
I love Tony. I love Tony. He's a lovely bloke.
But yeah, got to be an element of respect there. I'm struggling to find number 8. You know, I know I've
All right,
definitely got number 9.
go for number 9. Go for number 9.
Number 9, hands down, without fail, is obviously Righty.
Yeah.
100% Righty. Character, you know, looked after me for a good year. You know, loved him as a player. And again, watching him train and things like that, it was, you know, just pleasure to be around sort of idols, you know.
Yeah.
And
totally.
oh gosh, I'm struggling with the last one.
Well, you could do. I mean, West Ham. We've been playing 8 subs for a few games anyway, mate. So don't worry too much about it. So I'm happy. If it's good enough for David Moyes.
Nothing's jumping out on my head, so I'm just going to stick with 8. So yeah,
doesn't matter.
I can't. I'm not going to replace any of my youth cup team.
Love it.
Nah, they you know, Ed and those boys, you know, they helped me be who I am, become who I am or who I was, you know. So can't go against them boys, man. So
nah. Good. No, fair play. No, I totally agree, man. Totally agree.
All right.
Newts, man, it's been absolutely lovely chatting to you, buddy. I don't want to keep you from your family any longer. And obviously, thank you. And thank you to everyone for watching or listening, whatever. Give it a like, give it a share from myself and from Newts. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Get those jabs. Come on, you irons. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Come on, you irons. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Thank you.